Good day, everyone. My name is Cyrus Eliser A. Marsal, and today I will discuss about the restorative justice of the Philippines and the Thailand. First of all, what is the restorative justice? Restorative justice is a process through with which remorseful offenders accept responsibility for their misconduct, particularly to their victims and to the community. It creates obligation to make things right through proactive involvement of victims, ownership of the offender of the crime and the community in search for solutions which promote repair, reconciliation, and reassurance. Thus, the restorative justice process is actively participated in by the victim, the offender, and or any individual or community member affected by the crime to resolve conflicts resulting from the criminal offense, often with the help of a fair and impartial third party. Examples of restorative process include mediation, conferencing, sentencing, support circle, and the like. Restorative outcomes is the agreement obtained as a product of restorative justice process. Examples of restorative outcomes include restitution community, work service, and any other program or response designed to accomplish preparation of the victim and the reintegration of the victims and or offenders. How was restorative justice adopted in the Philippines? The Commission of Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, of which the Philippines is a member country, through a draft resolution, recommended to the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations Organization, or UNO, the adoption of the basic principle on the use of the restorative justice programs in criminal matters. The said document is a formulation in the UN standard in the field of mediation and restorative justice. The Philippines, being a signatory member country, should ensure adoption of this resolution. Consequently, the goal of the government is to establish a more enlightened and humane correctional system that will promote the reformation of offender and thereby reduce the indecent of recidivism. This is the line with the applicable laws, rules, and policies mandating this agency to administer. The parole and probation system in the country, as such as Parole and Probation Administration, or PPA, is empowered to create innovative policies, programs, and activities to facilitate the reintegration of its clientele into the mainstream of the society and consequently prevent the commission of crime. Therefore, PPA adopts restorative justice as one of its rehabilitation programs, which utilize retroactive process and aims to achieve restorative outcomes. What are the effects of restorative justice as rehabilitation program of PPA? Number one, reintegration of the offenders to the social mainstream and encouraging them to assume active responsibility for the injuries inflicted to the victims. Number two, proactive involvement of the community to support and assist in the rehabilitation of victims and offenders. Number three, attention to the needs of the victims, survivors, and other persons affected by the crime as participating stakeholders in the criminal justice system rather than mere object or passive recipients of service of. Now, we will tackle about the Thailand restorative justice. There are two types of restorative justice in Thailand. There are for juveniles and adults. Restorative justice for juveniles and adults in Thailand. In 2004, Thailand introduced retroactive conferencing as a response to juvenile offending. This approach has subsequently been expanded for use in domestic violence cases and with adult offenders through the Department of Probation. In this article, Wanachai Rogahavong, Director General of the Department of Probation, describe the introduction of restorative justice into Thailand, its legislative support and outcomes to date. Thai criminologists and criminal justice practitioners first learned about the concept of restorative justice in 2000, but the first implementation of restorative practice did not occur until 2003, when a family group conferencing initiative was set up by the Department of Juvenile Observation and Protection in 2004. The Department of Probation also implemented victim offender mediation with adult cases. Restorative justice for juveniles. The Department of Juvenile Observation launched the first conferencing program for juveniles in the June 2003. This will followed by implementation of the practice along with regulation and guidelines. In the 52 juvenile observation and protection centers around the country. This concept used an adapted version of New Zealand's family group and conferencing approach and incorporated the community as significant part of the process. This is because in Thai society, the community plays a very significant role in nearly every aspect of the lives and social functions of the Thai people. Therefore, the conferencing approach in Thailand was called Family and Community Group Conferencing, or FCGC. The implementation of the restorative justice for juveniles in Thailand was developed quickly, in part due to a law supporting this practice, although not drafted for that purpose. This law, the Juvenile and the Family Court and Procedure Act, has two relevant articles, Articles 50 and 63, that facilitate the implementation of FCGC. Article 50 provides that when a child is arrested, the police are obligated to send the child to the protection center within 24 hours. Article 63 gives the director of the protection center the authority to recommend a non-prosecution order to the prosecutor in the jurisdiction. In making such a proposal, the director uses his/her discretion based on three factors. Number one, the offense committed is punishable by no more than 5 years imprisonment. Number two, the director is of the opinion that the child can be reformed without being prosecuted in court. The third one, the child consents to be under the control of the director in the follow-up monitoring. In practice, not every case within the limit of 5 years imprisonment goes through FCGC because certain criteria have to be met. Number one is it must be the child's first offense. Number two, the child has to plead guilty and want to repair the harm done. Third is the victim must consent to use FCGC for the case. Article 63 has been law for several decades without being used because the director did not want to exercise this discretion alone. FCGC addressed this concern by drawing in the key stakeholders. Conference participants include the victim, the juvenile offender, the parents and relative of the child, a psychologist, a social worker, one or more representatives of the community, the director of the protection center, the police investigator, the prosecutor, and the conference facilitator. And the community in solving the problem of children in conflict with the law is the right path. Moreover, it is an undisputable fact that the family and community are two most important factors in helping children behave and become valuable human resource for society. Restorative justice for adults. After using restorative justice approach with juveniles, the Department of Probation initiated a program for adult offenders in 2004. While there is no law supporting this practice for adult offenders, the master plan of the criminal justice system stipulates one of its visions is to develop the justice system by enabling effective use and also enhancing a justice and fair, restorative and peaceful society beyond an equilibrium between law enforcement and human dignity. In May 2004, the Department of Probation implemented restorative justice practice in 11 probation offices on a voluntary basis. 3 months later, all directors of probation offices throughout the country agreed to conduct the restorative justice practice in their Currently, 96 probation offices, I mean, conduct restorative justice practices and have 2 to 3 mediators in each office. And that's all. And thank you very much. God bless you.